Okay, we're going to get into this story about Biden and Hawaii. So I have been complaining for quite some time that Joe Biden basically has just forgotten about people in Hawaii, that he abandoned the people, just like he abandoned people in East Palestine, Ohio. Recently, Joe Biden went to Maui, gave a speech. It was not good for Joe Biden. I'll give credit for him going there, but honestly, I don't know if I should give you credit for something that you're supposed to do that's part of your job anyway. And two, he still has yet to visit East Palestine, Ohio. And I think the reason why he still hasn't made his way there is because East Palestine, Ohio voted for Trump. He went to Hawaii because that's a blue state. Isn't that sad? That's the problem with partisan politics. But the residents of Maui have actually been very vocal. Some of them have been on TikTok. There have been independent reporters there covering their stories on the ground, and they have not been happy with Joe Biden, and they've actually had some things to say. Now, this first clip here is from Professor Zincus. He says, if you call the residents of Maui voicing their frustration with Biden's federal response, Russian propaganda, then you're an effing racist. So let's hear this gentleman here, what he had to say in reference to the way the Biden administration responded.
So let us get back to our INA. We can survive. If the United States government don't like help us, maybe Japan going to love Hawaii, maybe one other country, but it's if they can freaking take care of Ukraine, yeah, $40 billion go to Ukraine. Fucking shit ain't coming to us. What the fuck? My tax-paying money for 60 fucking years don't mean shit. But they're gonna take care of Ukraine, 40 fucking billion. So let us get back to our INA. We can survive. If the United States government don't like help us, maybe Japan going to love Hawaii, maybe one other country, but it's if they can freaking take care of Ukraine, yeah, $40 billion go to Ukraine. Fucking shit ain't coming to us. What the fuck? My tax-paying money for 60 fucking years don't mean shit.
This is just one of the residents of Maui voicing his frustration. And honestly, can you blame him? We've been talking about this as well. The fact that there's billions and billions of dollars to send to Ukraine, but they're not sending that type of money to Hawaii. Hawaii is a state. I don't know how many times I have to say this, but Hawaii is a state. And those people have been forgotten. We also talked about the fact that some of these residents in Hawaii have already been questioned in reference to selling their land or realtors trying to take their land right after this tragedy, coming there not to help them, but to take something else away from them. And then there's also this issue here in reference to water and what the residents in Hawaii actually have control over. And I think people need to hear this. This is from Pelham. Bombshell. Kaylu Manuel, the deputy water commissioner, allowed corporations and millionaires to divert the streams and canals to fill the reservoirs that service its luxury developments. You guys see this? How they take care of the rich? Native Hawaiian communities have been fighting for their right to manage their own water and stop the exploitation. Ironically, new permit applications that locals had been fighting for were due to be submitted August 7th, the day before the Maui fires. Kaylu Manuel then held off allowing use of the water to save downtown Lahaina for 5 hours. Firefighters responded fast, but they soon ran out of water. You can clearly see in this video how water diversions saved the wealthy and allowed native Lahaina poor to be burnt to ashes. The canal separating the wealthy landowners was still full of water. Let's take a look at that video. I'm just turning the sound down here so we can talk over it. You see this? You see all the houses here along the shoreline. These are the wealthy homes, right? These are those $1 million homes. Not one of them damaged, not one. Somehow the fire decided, We're going to skip over these. Look at the water. See the water? See the water? Mm-hmm. Protection for the rich. All that protection. So you can see all of that. And this is just, again, this is another case of the haves and the have-nots. This is who they protect. Everybody else is disposable. And that's what I want people to understand. If you're poor, they kind of see you as disposable. And then once we get away from the wealthy homes, destruction, fire, destruction, burnt to a crisp. Mm-hmm. You see, this is why, sometimes people, they get mad when I say, I'm tired of the rich shit. Sometimes people get mad at me and say, well, it's not their fault that they're rich. It's not other people's fault that they're poor. But there is a difference between the way rich people are treated and poor people are treated, especially when it comes to resources. That's just one example to show you. I want you to hear from this couple in Hawaii that said that Biden failed them. Now they struggle to survive in the water. This couple right here. Listen to this.
Know that, and you both survived something unreal. You lost your home, survived for hours in that ocean, and I know so many of our viewers were touched by you telling your wife, if I start drowning, save yourself. I know that it is a really, really long road, no matter what. And you told our team that you feel authorities are not being transparent, specifically about the number of children who have died. Can you tell me more about that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we're constantly hearing about, children that were hugging their parents, being stuck in the car, children that were off of school, that were, home alone. And then every time locals, even the media, try to ask our governor just, an estimate of how many children are out there, they're refusing to answer questions like that. So
we're going to pause here for a second. So here's a couple who is there. They live there, and they're telling you that the media, more so mainstream media, they're basically not being honest about how many people are missing, but more so the children that are missing. And I want to show you something. Look at this picture. You see this picture with the cars? Did you guys notice all of these cars here, the doors are closed? If the doors of the cars are closed, what does that tell you? What happened to the people? Right? So I've heard different opinions about this. People are like, oh yeah, people got out and they ran. Really? If people got out of these cars and they ran, why are all the doors still closed? Now I'm supposed to think there's a fire coming, wildfire coming. You opened the door and got out of the car and you took the time to shut the door of the car. Someone explain this to me. These people were burned. That makes no sense to me. I looked at a lot of these pictures. And so for the people telling me, see, these people fled their cars. What people? All the doors are closed. I have seen enough zombie attack movies in my lifetime, okay, to know what these cars should look like versus what they do look like if the people ran away. Let's continue.
So it's just sad that they're trying to hide so much from us, and especially about the children. It's really, really sad. We feel fortunate because we have a 4-year-old and she wasn't with us that day. They need to be more transparent, and we feel like they're just kind of throwing the blame in other places, dodging questions. When somebody asked our mayor the other day, like, just give us an estimate of how many children, he got confrontational. And we don't need somebody that's confrontational with locals that are just trying to get answers. All we want is answers, and just to know things went wrong and they happened, and that you're still helping us and you do care about us. Not if we complain to you, you're going to verbally attack us or do things. So, we shouldn't feel that way. We went through a lot. Everybody else went through a lot.
Yeah.
So they're verbally attacking the survivors. Isn't this crazy?
I hear the frustration. And Mike, you've also said that you feel the government just doesn't care about the people of Maui. Tell me more about that.
We feel like it's kind of protecting their own butts right now. We feel that we're not very political people. We really don't go one way or the other. But Biden has really failed us. He, when something like this, one of the worst disasters in U.S. history happens, he hasn't been out here, and it's been 2 weeks on Tuesday. What kind of president does that? And then the FEMA, they're giving some people, $700. We didn't get the $700, and we're not complaining about that. But giving people that just $700 to survive when they just lost everything, their clothes, their family members, is insulting.
I'm going to pause here for just a second because I want to say something. He may not care that he didn't get that $700, but I care. Yes, there should have been way more than that. Yes, it is absolutely insulting, but this just goes to show you not even everybody got the $700. And the reason why I wanted you to hear from this couple is because they don't swing either way politically. They're not saying they're Republicans. They're not saying they're Democrats. They're just like, where the hell is the president? And why are you only giving people $700?
People need more help. And we're seeing all this money being donated to other countries, billions of dollars, and we're not getting that help. They're more concerned with their political agendas in other locations when they should be taking care of Hawaii, which is, we are part of the U.S. We pay taxes. It's not right to do this to us. They need to care more.
You better preach. See, it's all coming out now. It's all coming out. This is why I'm so glad that News Nation had reporters there. They were able, because they actually have people there on the ground. They were able to send people there so you get to hear their perspective, and all the other independent outlets that actually have reporters there on the ground. It's very tricky now because from what I hear, they're not letting some people in to certain parts now too. But I just got to say, because you see some people who you're going to hear from later on tonight, like Harry Sisson, the guy, the kid who attacked Breonna Joy Gray. He's basically saying on Twitter that people who are criticizing Biden for the $700 and making the talking points like this gentleman is making, he's basically saying that those people are Trumpers. But yet here's a couple right here who does not swing either way politically. One more piece here.
I do know, and I hear you, and I appreciate your perspective so much. And I hope you know as well, the last time you were on our show, hundreds of thousands of our viewers watched your story, and they are just sending both of you so much love and so much heart. And I know that devastation is turning to frustration and anger, and I hear it, and I'm grateful that you're sharing it with us. Mike and Andresa Chiquino, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Yeah, so I want to say something here that I think that's important for people to hear. News Nation, yeah, they're on YouTube, but News Nation almost has 1 million subscribers. So when she said that hundreds of thousands of people got a chance to hear your story, oh yeah, this got out. This got out. More people are hearing what's happening to people in Hawaii. I mean, this is the second time they've been on. They were on before. And then there's this story here. This young woman was on CNN. And I want you to see the look on Caitlin's face, because she seems to have this disturbed look on her face. Like, I don't know, maybe that's just her face. Maybe she just has that look. But I want you to hear what this girl says here. Listen to this.
Right now, the Maui community is helping the Maui community. And it's really affected me, because where's the president? He decides to come here this week to come here next week. I mean, like, where aren't we Americans too?
Notice she said, aren't we American too? Mm-hmm.
Tell us about your Hawaii trip, sir.
No, not now. I'm going to be leaving. I'll be there on Monday.
Why is it important that you go?
Thank you.
Sir, on the family issue.
This is Joe Biden's Hurricane Katrina. It really is. Now, Joe Biden eventually did make it there. And boy, he made some comments that I think shows that he does not know how to read the room. Here's a clip here of Joe Biden. Now, this is posted by Simon Etaba. He's one of the White House reporters. He said Biden brings up the death of his first wife and daughter in 1972 while speaking in Maui, where at least 850 people are still missing and more than 100 have perished. Listen to this, guys.
America's deadliest wildfire in over a century. And Jill and I have what's left, walked Front Street, what's left of it. We've surveyed the damage from the air as well. The devastation is overwhelming. To date, 114 dead, hundreds of people unaccounted for. I remember when I got the call, my first wife and daughter, I was a young senator, and I got a call in Washington. I hadn't been sworn in yet. I wasn't old enough. And I was hiring staff in the Capitol at Teddy Kennedy's office. And I got a phone call saying from my fire department, and a young first responder kind of panicked, "You got to come home. There's been an accident." I said, "What happened?" He said, "Your wife, she's dead. Come home, come home." The tractor trailer had broadsided her and killed her in a car accident along with my little daughter. And I remember all the way down from Washington home wondering what a lot of people here are wondering. What about my two boys? How are they? They were in the car. I never got a read on that. Were they going to be all right? They were badly injured. Were they going to make it? Had they made it? Wasn't until I walked into the emergency room that I saw that they were there. The difference between knowing somebody's gone and worrying whether they're available to come back are two different things. You know, and I remember one of the people who helped me.
You know, it's just read the room. I don't understand how you can compare the two. You have the largest wildfire in the U.S. history, and he's comparing it to when he got the news that his wife passed away and his sons passed away. This is not the same thing. But it gets worse because he also made another comparison. Listen to this. Joe Biden compares the suffering of Maui victims to the time he had a small kitchen fire. I almost lost my 67 Corvette and my cat.
I don't want to compare difficulties, but we have a little sense, Jill and I, what it's like to lose a home. Years ago, now 15 years ago, I was in Washington doing Meet the Press. It was a sunny Sunday, and lightning struck at home on a little lake. It's outside of our home, not a lake, a big pond, and hit a wire and came up underneath our home into the heating ducts, the air conditioning duct. To make a long story short, I almost lost my wife, my 67 Corvette, and my cat. But all kidding aside, I watched the firefighters, the way they responded.
The Corvette part really did it for me because most of the people that lost their homes, as we showed you multiple times on this show, most of those people working class or poor. Just the sheer fact that Joe Biden actually owned a Corvette lets you know that even if his house burned, he has the money, and I'm pretty sure the insurance, to make sure he gets another house.
No, there's an old expression. I grew up right across the street from a fire hall in Claymont, Delaware. And the expression...
I can't. So another clip that I do want to show you is that there's actually a fundraiser happening for Ukraine in Hawaii. I can't make this up. And we got to give a huge shout out to Joe here. He's the one that makes those really fun clips that you guys like to watch so much. Jimmy usually shows those clips. There is a fundraiser for Ukraine going on in Hawaii. I kid you not. Saturday, August 26th, Ukraine Independence Day event. Magic Island. Ala Mona Beach Park from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Sunset gathering to follow. Hawaii stands with Ukraine, Ukrainian Congress Committee of America. And look down here. Here's the little for you to volunteer. Donate. Why are you asking people to donate money to Ukraine when the U.S. government is already taking care of that very well, instead of donate money to people in Hawaii who just lost their homes? You know, read the room. It's the optics of it. What else? What more money do you need anyway? How dare you come to somebody else's disaster? It extra money. Let me pause here. Hold on the music. Here it is. Watch this. Watch this. Let me pause. Hold on. Watch. You've got to be kidding me. But I'm not kidding.
I'm Natalia Andrievska. I'm Ukrainian dancer and a teacher. I would like to welcome everyone to Alamona Park for our event to commemorate Independence Day of Ukraine. You will be introduced to Ukrainian traditional dances like hopak, which represents merry spirit of Ukrainians. Also,
people just lost their homes and lost everything all their belongings. I don't think people really trying to learn no dance. This is just, again, read the room.
And merry spirit of Ukrainians. Also, another dance would be from Carpathian Mountains in Ukraine, named Dudariki, which translates wooden flute musician, who usually attracts many dancers. So welcome to have fun with us. Glory to Ukraine. Slava Ukraini.
Like, I can't make this up. Really? Talk about bad timing. And then there was also this. Joe Biden falling asleep. Like, this is just, you can't make this up. Now, Biden appears to fall asleep during a ceremony in Hawaii honoring Maui fire victims. So here's Joe Biden right here. Look at this.
Never met before. We are a community that relies on family, on ohana, whether by blood or by friendship. But like many others, my son's home burned down. My daughter's home burned down. My home burned down. My parents of 59 years home never met before.
He didn't fall asleep when he met with Zelensky. Guys, this is embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Like, this is the president of the United States. You can't tell me that Joe Biden is fit to serve as president again for another 4 years. You can't tell me. And the people just trying to push this and push him and say, no, Joe Biden's great. You got to keep Joe Biden. I'm like, are they seeing the same thing that I'm seeing? The people who are saying that nobody should primary challenge Joe Biden, that nobody should run against Joe Biden, that we should just reelect Joe Biden because he's already there. He can't. Joe Biden is asleep. If you want to help people in Hawaii, and I told you guys before, because people like Obama have been telling people to donate to the Red Cross. And I told you, don't donate to the Red Cross, because the Red Cross is notorious for raising a lot of money and not doing much with that money. And the earthquake in Haiti is a good example. Hurricane Katrina is a good example. Donate directly to the people. There are multiple GoFundMes that are set up by people in Hawaii. You can donate directly to them so that money gets to them.